And we're on.
Are we on? Hey, wait, I gotta tell everybody on Facebook we're on. Wait.
Yes, we are on.
Everybody say hi. Alright guys, sorry we had some technical difficulties because these people don't know how to set up the home studio. Yes, I'm doing, because I am not Oprah. I'm getting ready to say, okay, so listen, we can, if you log, look on the right, you'll see the chat box. So we'll be looking, it's ghetto TV. We'll be looking at the, everything. So if you have something you want to say, just chat in. And over here, this is the fabulous Alicia Gaskins Barmore. No relations, we don't think.
No,
no relations. And this is her son, Devin. This is Najma, the fabulous Najma Jahan, or known as Star. So we're excited. I wanted to, today's topic is on getting real. What it's really about is being authentic.
She's a little bit computer illiterate. She's low tech.
No, I'm not. It's just easy.
We trying to get off set up. All right, so we just wanted to make sure that we look. A whole lot of messages about I always post, and I'm always my business, just everything. I feel like if you're my friend, I get a lot of messages about daughters, and I thought it would be great to really have Najma on the show. I thought about Devin and Alicia because how that all kind of got started was that growing. We do what we do for our kids because whatever I needed to do to be successful. So I had to. And so subsequently what happened, what things I liked or what was interesting to did with my example set for me and told they mean well, but at the same time, if that's my love talk, or that's the way I speak, then I only want to attract people who can understand that. I don't want to change my dialect, and I'm not saying that we don't know how. But I speak to God that way. I go to God and be like, dude, really though? Seriously? Did this really happen today? Like, I'm not really, I don't feel because I'm talking to God, I have to really not going to feel everything I'm trying to express. Appropriate. instead of standing in the way that you created me to be. So, when she made that statement, I thought about it and I was like, yeah, some people may, they may think one way or another, but honestly, the people whose lives, and I'm going, so it took me to an adult. Would do because that's not how I was raised to be. She was weird just a little bit of time. That was today.
She's artsy.
Najma came in my room at 12 o'clock midnight. Acrylic professional stuff. Good stuff. Talking about some, hey mom, you want to paint? And I'm thinking, paint what? Paint a picture. I mean, she's so. What? What'd you paint?
At least it was quiet.
Right.
Devin comes in singing it.
But if I had done that, my mom would have been like, okay, I gotta get appropriate behavior.
Right.
You can't just walk around and I mean, but meant well. And I used to do that to not many boys a certain way. Everything had to be a certain way. But to me, only when you try to do things or you get to make the right mistakes and correct them. I know for a fact that she knows she has a safe. How big my mistake is, he got my back. I mean, I know I become the safety net for Naj, but I really started getting more in tune with, I don't want my kids to, I want to know the type of person. But if I had not have just allowed, no, I'm serious. If I hadn't really allowed her, she don't cuss. She'll tell you. I'll tell you what she said in a minute. She didn't cuss out of her mouth. She came, my youngest one, but when I let my guards down, so she was free, all these weird things that she wanted to do, that sweetie, we can't. So, but I wouldn't have been able to have that conversation with her if I didn't really allow. Ooh, the lights in the thing. It'll come back. So we're in. Yeah. Oh, okay, cool. So I would not have even known that was in her. She said, I don't really say cuss words out. Crazy stuff. But most parents would freak out about that. But now I have, to curb that behavior or. I won't say real cuss words. I ain't gonna say no real cuss words, but I'll get you.
All my folks that are watching are like, oh,
she was like, oh, she
will
cuss you out.
cuss you out. Yeah, I'm not all here all the time.
But the thing is, I think that I was allowed to go through what I went through and to realize, honestly, 40 years of being somebody else. all that, but it's really not me. I can take it or leave it. You know what I mean? But I did go after some of these things because I mean, they created me to think that this was success. They created me to, that's what I thought. I thought I had. They don't really mean that much to me because it's not. So when she graduated from high school, she said she wanted to be a singer. Well, I was free by then. By the time she graduated from high school, in college. And if you say you're gonna be a singer, you're gonna be a singer. That's what a singer songwriter. That's what you're gonna be. No formal training. She. It's really hard to get in. But I remember I had 40 years of 40 years.
Mine started a little bit earlier. But I got free earlier. So by the time they got older, got to be teenagers, I kind of stray away from, I guess, what was considered. Started my own business, which I had always had. Really, for me, that became the personal. Really completely changed my life. Just showed me a whole new world, and that's what allowed me. I walked away from corporate America. Good job with the benefits that I had been. I remember I didn't even tell my family for a long time. Some of my closest family because I. So when Devin came to me at 14, 13 actually, he didn't pay attention to it. Well, Devin found a vocal coach. Devin did 13. Devin was doing research and a few months program, and it's just been ever since then. And really get to a point where we can share what we've done over the last few years.
You're not through it yet?
Yeah, we're not through it yet. And people, that's really why. Because I know I'd have to really go off on some folks because they want to know, well, why are you doing this? But it's on the road and all that, and people are calling for backstage passes. I'll be able to say, oh, I'm sorry, you didn't support us, remember?
But the thing is, even with all the struggles, I just believe that when you're doing
Exactly.
You know, it's like
a completely
it is-
different type of. And I'm a single mom, so right, I'm a single mother. So for me, it requires, in order for Devin and my oldest son, for them to follow their dreams, it requires and I know for you it requires sacrifice as well. But I'm just saying, you know, it requires sacrifice, a lot of sacrifice on my part in all different areas of my life. But it's so gratifying and so good seeing my children live out their dreams. Devin is moving to California and to pursue his dream, you know, singing and acting. Gone. He's leaving. He's, you know, he's done with Maryland. He said he's not coming back, except to do tours here.
Hold up, guys. So I'm getting messages because it's 3.
Is it any one person that you can hear over anybody else?
Yeah, because it's a couple of people. You tech Ustream savvy people, can you please send me an inbox message and tell me how to fix the volume?
Is the volume up on
Wait,
there?
we're gonna try to fix it, guys, because I want you. That up.
Okay, it should be fine.
All right, so Tamara, is it Tamara? Tamara? I love you anyway. And Renee, since you two told me, can you let me know if it's better? And we'll kind of keep going. But let me know, because we kind of made some adjustments on it. Okay, we made some adjustments. I'm glad to see so many of you all are tuning in. Let's see. Both of you are going in and out, volume going in. Oh, Lily said it too. Hi, Lily. Lily Grace. Let us know, Lily, if it's better, okay? You can send it on Ustream. I can see your chats. All right, so go ahead. Oh, yeah, but the sacrifices are different.
Right.
You know, for me, I've been self-employed for 15 years, myself and my husband, so we don't have, you know, extra income that's coming in. And I will admit, it costs $50,000 a year to send some Naj to school. And when our business, you know, kind of crashed and circumstances changed, we had the oodles and noodles days. We shuffling money like, hold on, Najma, wait a minute. I mean, people don't realize that Najma grew up where money was nothing, where we would drop thousands on just shopping. You know, we never had boxes, eBay, and people don't really realize that. You know, that how difficult it was for her or for me to have to not have bills paid or not be able to pay rent. It was something that we weren't used to. It happened all of a sudden. We went from, you know, thinking we were going to just cut a check to her school for $200,000 and pay for 4 years of education to not sometimes being able to pay $1,000 a month for rent. It was very difficult. But for me, and I used to have to try to tell her, it wasn't a struggle. It only became a struggle when they were struggling. But for me, it's worth it because at the end of the day, it's a different kind of struggle. I would hate to be struggling doing something I hated. I gotta go to work. I hate work. I hate school, and I can't pay my bills. You know, and so I've learned that everything is better when you're living in purpose, and this is your assignment. You don't mind living in. I mean, I wouldn't have bought a twin bed bunk bed set at 22 to struggle. But I mean, that's what.
No, it's not a bunk bed.
It is a bunk bed.
No,
the child just.
I wanted a, you know, like the cute little bunk beds with the desk.
That's so cute.
It's a nice one though. It's real pretty.
Oh my!
I just want it.
Nobody.
I want to climb up the ladder.
We're sorry, children, because anybody who's watching that's a parent and their kids are coming to them saying, "We want to be a singer. We want to be an artist. We want to be this." They're going to go back to their kids now and say, "No, Naj made Devin talk crazy."
No, right. You just want to climb. I used to want one as a kid, and then I just kind of got over it.
But just to even prove that when I said, you know, because when I said I really want them to just experience life, the only thing I said was, "Girl, how much the bed cost?" And I'm thinking, how much money did you just waste? Because I know in about a month she's gonna change her mind.
Over.
Exactly.
So, you know,
but
invite.
I know beyond a shadow of a doubt that you all's lives are going to be so different because we allow that. And
Right.
even as parents, it's not the easiest thing to do. For me, it's not easy for me sometimes because I have this rule in my house, and we said it on the radio show that I don't tell Najma she can't do things I don't like. I only tell her she can't do things that are not right. So, I may not get Africa on my own.
Now, I haven't gotten to that
I may not
point
get
yet. I
Africa.
will straight out say no and threaten to knock them in the throat.
She doesn't
I have boys though.
Oh, y'all
That's
get
different.
It's
But no, what I'm saying is that I may not get, I wouldn't get all, how many tattoos you have, Naj? She lying, she probably got 40. She lying. She has 20
But you can't
tattoos.
see him. I mean, except for that one.
We'll see the
You can
summertime.
see two on her
I
face.
was Gucci.
But see,
In the summertime.
she Gucci. But, I wouldn't have gotten all those, but I don't think it's wrong. I just
Right.
think, I don't like it. And so, to me, that's so key. Even in your friends' lives, we're so opinionated. Just because you wouldn't do it doesn't mean that it's wrong for somebody else to do it. If it's wrong and they ask you, because I 100% do not believe in unsolicited advice.
Right.
I do. If I didn't ask you,
We
I really
talked
don't.
about that.
Exactly. I really don't think that
Shut
it's,
your mouth.
it's not your place. I didn't ask you, so don't give me your advice. Seriously. And there'll be times when I will ask. But I think even as friends, we put our friends in this big old box, because I don't think that's appropriate. But don't wear it. Don't
Right.
do it. And
Right.
even if it's not appropriate, they didn't ask you. You have to let them work that out on their own. It could be something. I know I've gone through phases where I just want to try this, or I had my Gucci stage. What you say?
You still in it.
I'm not.
Don't look over here.
Today I was like, oh my. I just did. We was walking in the store and she was just like, "Ooh." I was like, okay.
They can't hear you. She talking about that's why Simone don't like you to come to her school now. Mind you, I have on a turtleneck and long pants and boots.
Alright.
Nothing hoochie about what I have on.
Where
Jeez.
did you stand at?
Let me be free, Nas.
She's
Let me
saying-
be me. Let me express
Don't stand in
myself.
front of the camera. and
Well,
say
I
what she
definitely
says.
ain't standing up there because my clothes.
It's a little split.
Well, I know how it is to kind of go through phases, and there were times when I may have gone through phases that maybe weren't appropriate. I know now because I'm in this whole other thing going on with myself now, and I could be doing things that even God may be sitting around. I joke all the time. He probably be like, "Lord, this chick has lost her mind." But allow me to go through it. Allow me to do what I'm doing. You don't never know what people can get out of just exploring who they are. At some point, I know I'm gonna get to this. Who is this next phase of Robin? I'm entering into a new career, doing new things. I'm not used to it. I mean, we were out today, the people staring and all that, it just drives me absolutely crazy. But I have to get used to it. So let me work out my issues so that when I come on the other side of this thing, I'm coming out authentically me and not that person you just trying to make me be. You know what I mean?
And this is the thing, as parents, we've had this conversation before. I just turned 40, and I felt like when I turned 40 in September, for a few months leading up to 40, I was dreading it. I was like, oh my God, I'm turning 40, which really was because of how society talks about women turning 40. And when I got over that and realized, wait a minute, this can be a whole new chapter of my life. This can be something great for me, and my whole mindset changed. My point in saying all this is I believe I would rather both of my children, be free to be who they are now, make the mistakes that they're going to make now. Like I told him about moving to California. The worst case scenario is that you get out there, you realize California isn't for you, or you don't want to sing anymore, you don't want to act, whatever the case may be, you come back home. But I would rather him do that now at 18 and 19 and 20 and whatever age they're at, versus them getting to be 30 and 40 and 50 years old, because I see so many adults and talk to so many adults who are absolutely miserable in their life because they never did what they wanted to do.
And look, they don't even know what they want to do.
Right. And they never had the opportunity to explore it or anything. So I feel like as a parent, it's my obligation now to make sure whatever he wants to try. Now, I'm not saying we're going to spend millions of dollars and you know, he's going to be 40 years old still trying stuff, whatever. But I do feel like at this age, if this is what he feels like he wants to do, then I'm going to let him do that. I'm not going to be the person that says, no, you have to stay here. You have to go do this. You have to follow this plan because that's what was told to me. I was a teen mother. I got pregnant with my oldest son at 17. And prior to that, I was, you know, a really good student. I was the president of the Future Business Leaders of America. Y'all remember that? I was even like I think I was the secretary or something of the regional chapter. I remember going on college visits with my mom and everything. So I say that because I was probably one of the last people that people thought would have ended up pregnant. And I did, but I remember some of my family specifically saying to me, oh my God, your life is over. It's done. You're having a baby. You won't be able to do this. You won't be able to do that. And that's not the case. So, you know, that I worked very hard to prove those people wrong. But again, it goes back to allowing your kids to be free to do what it is that they feel like they're called to do, because we don't specifically always know what God is telling them. God didn't come to me first and say that he was supposed to be this singer that was going to go all over the world and change the world. But because of what he spoke to Devin and the Devin's relationship with God and what he was able to come back and tell me, I've said, okay, we're going to do this. And if we're going to do it, we're going to go all the way. We're not going to half do it.
So how does that sound, Star? Seriously, how does that feel? You know what? I really want to know how it feels to, especially because I know I'm not an easy mom. But it's not. I'm tough. I'm tough. She is kind of both. You know, you have that liberty. But at 21, 22, I shifted from parent to coach.
Sometimes.
So you know how I am in that way,
Well,
right?
I asked her could I do something 2 weeks ago. She told me no. I said, but Mom.
They can't hear you.
I asked her could I do something 2 weeks ago, and she told me no.
But you know what's awesome though? You asked. I think that's boss stuff.
What if I would have been like, I still want to do it? What you just say?
I would have said okay.
Oh, for real?
Yeah. I was just No. But as a parent, I shifted from, and she didn't like the shift. That's why I really want her to talk. See, she talks all the stuff. She didn't like any of it. She didn't like. I'm saying, be free now, go after your dreams. She struggled with that, and then she did it. And then I said, okay, you're 21. I need to shift from, mommy to more mentor, where you come to me for, to consult. I give you my honest, like I would do anyone else, but of course a little bit more, because as a parent, well, not all parents are this way, but I see my child's future. Like I've seen this in her life before she knew it was going to be here. So visionaries are visionaries not only for their jobs but for their families and their business and everything. So I saw the arenas. It didn't make sense to me then because I didn't know the child could sing. But once I figured it out, it all made sense. So I see certain things, not that we're always right. So when I made the shift to mentor, she didn't like that. She called me 29 times, wondering why she can't talk to me all the time. I'm trying to figure out, but I'm trying to make a shift, and you still don't want me to. She wouldn't let me go. I was letting go. She didn't want to let go. So, but I mean, it's all good. But I just know I know what's best. And so, as a consultant or your mentor, you will come to me, you will ask me something. First of all, she didn't ask my opinion.
I said.
You said, "Can I?" That gave me the
Did
permission.
I say, can I?
Yeah, so I said
That's
no.
mother mode.
Yeah, you didn't say, "Hey
I'm
mom,
trying to get hey, I'm gonna."
hey mom, I'm thinking about X, Y, and Z." Oh no.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Let me know what I'm talking about.
Let me tell you
That's
something.
how you stressing your mother out.
Yes, because let me tell you something. Even in my marriage, okay, so guys, check this out, right? So there's a role that everybody plays. In my house, as strong as most of you all think that I am, my husband is the head of this house. He makes the decisions, but I have veto power. Okay, I have veto power. Yeah, I have veto power. Like the president, you think president, all that, he can veto. I'm saying, sorry, Congress. Congress think they're all of that, and they get to make these votes and all of this, but the president still has the right to veto it, right? So I have a right to veto when I know something is not of God. You understand? Because God is the ultimate ruler of this house. So
Right.
and biblically, if we don't agree, we do nothing.
Mhm.
If we don't agree, so if I know decisions have been made in this house that I did not agree with, but I went along with. When that decision is against what I believe is the will of God for this house, I will exercise veto power. I still have that power over her. I will have that power over her till I
My
die.
house in Boston.
I'm even in charge of
I ain't house no more.
I have the
She turned my room into an office.
No. See, this real talk with Robin, I'll tell them what you asked me.
Hey, I don't got no shame in my game.
I know.
So in other words, you're not threatening her. She
Right.
doesn't care.
No. Don't say no names. Look,
I'm not gonna say anything. But this particular thing, now let's be honest, since this is real talk,
I don't think
and
this is a bad
since
idea.
Miss Lily is on, let me see, she better not be
I'm a
saying
musician. Rules are different for us.
nothing. Okay, yes.
It is.
But let me say this. No, let me say homework.
Well, summarize.
She told me no too, actually. So no, that's not asking her. She told me no.
Yeah.
She actually said no.
It was something that went against what we believe in as Christians,
Oh, okay.
as a whole. Okay, then it goes against our family.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, it goes against our family values.
Okay.
Okay.
That makes sense.
Yeah, because technically it's debatable. No.
No, it
The
is
issue
debatable.
is debatable. The
Okay.
issue,
I
the
think
issue.
under different circumstances,
Yes.
you might feel different.
Under
but right now.
Yeah, under some circumstances, yes, it's a debatable issue, but it's
Okay.
a debatable biblical issue.
Mhm.
But it goes against our family values,
Mhm.
and it would have caused problems with our family. So I said no.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So that's how that rolled.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna tell you this: she didn't have to ask, because God knows when I was in college, people did, made all kinds of decisions, and I made all kinds of decisions without ever asking my parents.
Right.
But they got into a whole lot of trouble, and I told her, I had put on her Facebook page.
I.e.
Yeah, I put on her Facebook page. That's big girl stuff. That's when you know you're a boss. When you're not just out of control. You're not just
Right.
crazy. Your parents tell you, "Hey, you live your life, and I'll just monitor from the outside." But you have enough sense and maturity. You had enough maturity to say, "I need to check, my mom with this,"
Right.
and the fact that she accepted it and she didn't like it.
Mhm.
Because truth be told, when I told her father, I said she's gonna do it anyway. That's what I said.
I specifically said, do not tell Dad. I'm pretty sure I said, do not tell Dad.
Robin.
But once you said,
Now it comes out.
once you said the word,
Once you
once you
said me when he
What?
came home.
Right.
No. Because to be honest with you, I put it to him in the way that you gave it to me.
Christ.
Anyway, I'll tell y'all later offline. Hey, y'all, just inbox me and I'll tell all of you all exactly what she
You might
said.
as well say it.
No, because I don't know who listens. It might be
I
something.
do not care.
Anyway, so yeah, okay, but
Okay,
tell me,
go on to the
tell me,
next thing.
tell me how it feels how it felt for you because this has been the last at least 5 years when I kind of 4 or 5 years when I kind of discovered that I had been in this box, that I opened that box up and allowed her to just be who she was.
I mean, I don't know. Part of it
Y'all let me
was
know if y'all didn't hear her, because to me she's
part of it was you, and then part of it was you sent me away to Boston with all these crazy people. And just like even me and Lily, y'all don't even know Lily, but I'm gonna show y'all who Lily is. We had some experiences, and it was stuff you told me you did, and I was just like, oh my God, I wish I would just listen. But it's like, I don't know, your parents can tell you don't do this and don't do that, but you still feel like, oh, that's them. They don't know, like, I can handle this situation differently. And you tried out yourself, and, I think me trying out some stuff you said you tried and wasn't so good. Like, just me being, I don't know if it was being me or I was just being wayward. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But you try some stuff, your parents be like, oh, this wasn't a good idea. And then you learn.
Yeah,
that
because I told her the truth.
Well, yeah, I mean, maybe at first I didn't want to listen to you as much, but it's like, once I realized, like, the stuff you actually said.
Javonda, I told her father because I wanted
Yes,
to tell.
thank you. But I think a lot of the reasons
She's still
I started realizing stuff is a lot of reasons I maybe start listening more is because I tried some of the stuff she said don't do. I'm not telling y'all to try stuff your parents tell you not to do, but it is. I tried some stuff and it really turned out how she said it was gonna turn out. You know what I mean? Sometimes you
So
don't.
that's why you called her and asked her about this situation.
Yeah, that's why I
More
start
so.
listening to her more. Even though I get frustrated, like I get frustrated so easily, and like I have like this short of a fuse. But like I'll get mad, but in the back of my head, I'll still listen. I know I probably stress her out with some of the stuff I ask, but
And it doesn't. And
I be
that's the
stressing.
thing. And you know what? Let's be honest.
Stress
It
myself out.
doesn't stress me out. I hate to, as a parent, and this is why most parents don't allow their children to be free. I feel what I know you're going through because I went through it. Like,
You
This-
have no idea though.
yeah, see, she said that, and that's something that. But it's something though, because I do know that and some things I haven't healed from, so I don't talk about as much, you know what I mean? So I'm very open with them. Najma probably knows, and Simone, she's only 14, but she still knows. She probably knows 80% of the things I went through, but even though we were in different generations, that pain and devastation and
Right.
all of that, I went through that. And to think that you all would experience that makes it difficult for us to take the reins off. So there's just a place where you have to instill so much of a trust or relationship in your children where they don't see, that's when kids rebel. That's when that happens. Like, I'm just gonna live my life, I ain't gonna tell her not anything. You know, so you wanna create an atmosphere where you can live your life, but just know, because I used to tell my kids when they was younger, I said, look, I probably, you know, if you tell me X, Y, this is the rule. Like, you come home and tell me you pregnant or had sex, I'm probably gonna pick up something and bust your side of the head. So I wouldn't suggest that. I suggest you go tell.
But that's not even. You know what?
I
That's
know.
funny because
I say-
that's not even true.
I know.
I think
It's not true, but I thought I would. Like, I thought I would go crazy. So, but I wanted them to always tell me. So I set up people that they can go to. I said, so you go to her and tell her you did it, and then let her tell me. And you know, I used to put like filters in place, but I always wanted to make sure that I was the type of person they would come to. So now we get to this place, and Najma is so, she still is, she's free, but she still wants to please. So there's still certain, she put herself in a little
Right.
half a box
Which
with certain things, but
that's
she ain't gonna do
normal
it
to
so
not want to
much.
disappoint your
Yeah.
parents. But I think Najma said some key things that I hope as parents, the parents that are listening, don't miss. She said that even though her mom told her the different things, you know, don't do this, I've tried this or I tried that, and even though she still, some of it she had to experiment with, that was still in the back of her head, what her mother had told her. So she, and I say that to
I
say,
try to get myself out the situation.
right, if you've got kids right now and it seems like even though if you're talking to them and you're being open with them and they're still doing the opposite, don't get discouraged because it led to this point of now where she's comfortable. Before she goes out and did whatever, she felt comfortable enough to come and talk to her mom first. And I think that that's one of the biggest strongholds that the enemy uses, especially and I'm just going to say it, this is my opinion, in African American families, is that we don't talk about stuff from the past. People talk about generational curses all the time, and I think one reason that generational curses exist is because we don't talk about the stuff with the next generation to break it. And a prime example is my kids, well, my father is deceased now, but my father was an alcoholic. My grandfather was an alcoholic. I can't believe I'm saying all this stuff I have to other people. That was a conversation that when my boys were young, they were teenagers, and I don't even remember how the conversation came up, but we had a conversation about drinking and about why it's probably not a good idea for you to just think you're casually drinking because alcoholism can be hereditary.
Najma.
See, I know your
No,
but I do.
we have to talk about that, but that's true.
Right.
But there are
you have to talk about
things
stuff.
there are strongholds in my life that places restrictions on there.
Right.
But like, like for
Exactly.
instance, I don't gamble. because that's a stronghold.
Okay.
So none of my children do.
Right.
Yeah. So so you got.
And my kids don't drink now that I know of. The oldest one, I know he doesn't because he's he's 17. He'll be 18 next week. So my point is, you have to talk to your children. You have to tell them things, even if you think it's stuff that's embarrassing or whatever. But they need to know their family history.
Yeah.
Because I seriously feel like, and I'm not gonna put their father's business out in the street.
No, girl. I'm just playing.
Anyway, let me just say, both of my boys came from long histories of alcoholism. So it was very important that they knew that, because if I had never told them that, it would have been easy for them to start drinking with their friends or whatever. Before I knew it, my boys could have ended up alcoholics.
Well, you know what? That's still part of them growing up, knowing who they are. Because, those are strongholds, those are vices that, they can have these issues and not know where it came from. Or not know why they're experiencing the things that they're experiencing.
Why they feel like they feel.
So then because I know that your mom got the revelation early.
Is it a lunatic?
Yeah, she is.
What I tell you before we got on the stage.
She said she crazy too.
She's crazy.
But obviously in action.
No,
so.
she's crazy too.
Oh,
that.
That's why we get along so well.
Yeah, that is why we get along so well.
Crazy
we're
is
both-
crazier.
Yeah.
I'm crazy too.
No,
So
we
you
will-
just by
We will
yourself.
put you on.
Okay.
You we'll put you off this broadcast.
I'm talking to the people.
But no, but then, because your well, it could be because of when I got the revelation for Najma, because I am probably the way you are with Devin. I'm probably that way with Simone, where I would do things that people, because I know you face this without you even saying it if you didn't already, where I would make decisions for Simone that are so unorthodox, so people, if I told people, I would do it because Simone is, she has her vision of becoming a professional basketball player and going to college on a full scholarship, and it really doesn't matter to me. You know my rule. Even Najma knows I do the same thing every time I put a little thing here. It's like I have a visual. All I care about is we get here.
Right.
And I have to let everybody know this is the goal. I don't care what route or what method, as long as this doesn't change. This can't change. So the end result has to stay the same. So I think with Najma, I was fortunate enough that she was gone to college, and she was kind of on a path where the things that we were allowing her to do weren't unorthodox necessarily. But you started doing things with Devin, like me with Simone, at his age, like homeschooling and traveling and doing all this stuff.
Started in my last year of elementary school.
Yeah.
Well, 6th grade.
So tell me about that, because it has to feel good. Well, no matter what, struggle. Even though she don't cook for you, make you use the noodles. Hey,
She cooks sometimes, just not as much as
I taught him how to cook.
Right, I'm the cook in our house. I'll take it. Somebody's got to do it, so I'll do it. But I guess honestly, I just feel blessed because I have so many other friends that, like, I have my best friend wants to be a talk show host, but because of the style of parenting that her parents are, and her parents are older, and I think her mom had her when she was 40, so I hope she's not watching this. Anyway, her parents are older, and her parents' parenting style is very, very strict. And so, like, she wants to be a talk show host and do all these great things in entertainment, but because of who her parents are, no, that's not allowed in this house. What you're going to do is you're going to go to school because we've already set aside your tuition, or your college fund. So what we're going to do is you're going to go to a school, you're going to major in this, and you're going to get a job, and then once you have 4 kids and you bought a house and you're married, then you can go ahead and do that if that's what you still want to do. But as of right now, that's just not in your cards, and it's not allowed in this house. So I just feel, I guess, blessed that I have a parent that when I have crazy ideas, like when I say, by the way, on top of my music career, I think I want to open up a clothing boutique. And she says, I think that's great. What's the plan? How do you think you want to go about it? What's the first step? Versus other parents would say, No, I don't think you should do that. I don't think that's smart because of A, B, and C, and D, of A, B, and C, and all this other stuff. So I'm just grateful that I have a parent that just is, she allows it, and it's a thing of she'll sit down and she'll talk it. We'll talk it out together, and then I can figure out, okay, I really want to do this, or no, that was a great idea, but I don't want to do that. It just seems like too much.
I mean,
And it
because
was
you
a
can
cool
feel
idea.
strange. You know, like I think about putting you, if your mom didn't allow you to be who you were, putting you in an atmosphere of a bunch of people who weren't like you. Like I remember when we went down to Berkeley, boy, I said, Najma, we found your family. Like, you know,
That's
that
how
how you
he is
felt?
in California.
A little bit. They was
when we dropped her off at Berkeley, well, it was, I don't know if it was the first time when we came to visit, and it was a little show, they had the calf show, I think it was.
I don't think I knew I was like them until I got there.
Yeah,
I
but we
was trying to
knew.
be old, thug,
But
like,
we knew
you know,
Right.
Oh, yeah.
ratchet.
Because she performed.
Like, I had ratchet friends. I mean, I love my friends. I still go out with them. But you know, when I got to school, then I was like, oh, this is me. Like,
But even in music, you know, she evolved. It was gospel, then it was this, and now
he
it's
did gospel first.
yeah, and
Which actually, that was because of me.
Exactly.
No, he never said he wanted to do gospel.
I still think she's gonna do gospel.
I don't.
think he is
I just
too.
think she's gonna recreate it. But that's not.
But that's funny.
She's gonna do gospel rock.
Even though I allow him to be creative, even though I allow him to be creative and be free with something, I still have to be careful not to impose what I want on him, because when he first started the singing thing, I was like, yes, he's gonna sing gospel and we gonna do this and we gonna do that, and he finally was like, I don't want to sing gospel.
But even when he got that still gospel type feel though, you know what I mean?
Right.
He's
It's still
inspirational,
good, yeah.
right?
It's
Exactly.
still
He's
good.
not singing anything crazy. And his thing was, he didn't want to sing gospel, but he still wanted his music to touch people, like unsaved people and people like that. But
Music
he
should still
found,
have a message. Music
Yeah,
is
you
something.
explain it.
Music is supposed to affect change, and it's supposed. When people say music is the universal language, it really is true. Which is why you can have an artist go to China and they don't speak a lick of English at all, but they know every single word to your song, and they jam to you, and they drive, and and they just get it and they understand it because there's a message there. So what music is supposed to do is it's supposed to touch people's lives. It's supposed to affect change. If you look at the biggest artists I think that we've ever had of all time, I mean everybody from Bon Jovi to Whitney Houston to Michael Jackson to all these great people, their biggest hits in music were "We Are the World" and "The Greatest Love of All" and "Human Nature" and all these other things that were inspirational songs. That if you listen to them, you figure out like, oh wow, that they were saying that we should change the world and we should all be friends and all this stuff. Now I'm not saying you gotta live like Alice in Wonderland and everybody's gonna get along and it's just gonna be peace and flowers and happiness everywhere, because that just doesn't exist. But we can help to create that, and so that was my thing when I started creating music, was that I never wanted to be an issue of where I felt like I was risking my family values and my integrity. My thing was I never wanted to create music where I felt like I couldn't let my younger cousins or nieces or whoever listen to it. That was my biggest thing. It's just I didn't want to do something that was like, no, you can listen to it, but don't listen to number 9.
You know, I mean, and you know what was so funny to me, and this is just about, I'm putting this all together just about how I was in this box and I created this prison of my own, right? Nobody else had it. You know who really set me free on Najma and her tattoos and her songs? The church. My pastor and the leaders, the main ones I thought told me, you know what I'm saying? You create, that's what I'm saying. I never really got to know me and my relationship with God in a way that was authentic. So I thought, that's what I thought was supposed to happen. And when Najma came there, it's almost, they constantly, to this day, wanting her to, is not rebel against God, because she never will, because that's in her.
right.
But what we want, and I joke when I say I think she's going to turn the gospel, that really isn't what I'm saying, and Debbie kind of hit on the head. What's in you is in you. You got to allow somebody to express that in their own way. You know what I mean? And so she's never going to, I don't care what happens. Like I said, what happens in between, I don't worry about that. But I know Najma's art and her gift is going to give a message that's going to change. It's going to cause people to be different because that's who she is. But I would have put her in that box. And it was the same people who I thought built the box.
Right.
Tell me,
Let her live
you know,
outside.
yeah, I mean, I was joking with my parents, she gonna be tied to Jesus, you know. I'm thinking, that's not what you know today. You know what I mean? But it was so, you know, I mean, but every day I'm just reminded that I know for a fact that I at least won't bring up another generation like me.
Right.
That this girl is gonna be happy. And any struggles she had, like she always says, I'm never gonna grow up and hate that I have all these tattoos. And I tell everybody she's gonna die crazy. That's just how she is. I believe her.
I can convince you of that.
Yeah, I
Right.
honestly don't believe because this is authentically her. If I was trying to keep her in a box and she was getting tattoos to be rebellious or trying to be like somebody else, if I had not given her, I believe, the freedom to just be herself, where these are her choices. They, like her friends aren't, all of them aren't like that. Poor Liddy dying over a tattoo on her. Oh, I may not supposed to say that. Let me see
Lily
your parents
had
online.
it. She
Let me see your parents online. But you know,
Poor Lily.
they are great.
They are. Lily's
Oh, they're like that
now.
I saw it on Facebook.
Oh, you did?
On Instagram, oh, it's on your phone. I'm sorry, Lily, but anyway.
Jesus.
No, but
Lily, get your parents off right there. I don't even know Lily. But Lily, get
We
your
gonna break her down stream.
But anyway, I'm gonna call your friends, but I'll fix it all up for you. But the thing about it is, her friends are uniquely them. I mean, I even think about some of Najma's friends. They're all musicians, but they're different, and no one is trying to be like someone else. I listen to it because I'm fans of all of her friends' music, you know, and Devin's music. I love how they're just who they are. Like, I don't see that bondage there or that. I see so much freedom because any parent who allowed their kids to go to that type of school, or you can just go in different types of environment and go, you know, this is a free environment. Those kids are free and uniquely them.
Right.
And I just feel that the thing, you know, especially with Devin, he has a, you know, you just have the greatest opportunity in the world because it, you know, beyond elementary, that really didn't shape you as much as what's shaping you now.
Right.
So you'll never have that. And you'll change so many times and your mom will just call me and talk about you. It would allow you to change and to evolve and to be different. I mean, to go to California at 18 and just live there, who does that? You know what I mean? And my thing is just to know, we were just talking about that today, you don't like it, just what's the worst case scenario? That's what I always teach. Come home, decide where else you want to go.
But I think something else that you said earlier that's key for parents, you said that that you set up other people for Najma to be able to go to if she didn't feel comfortable talking to you about things, right? Didn't you say that?
Yes.
So mentors in their life is because as much as we, regardless of how free we let them be, because it's a fine line to how much you do and don't do. But our kids are never going to come to us with everything because it's just, I was having a conversation with Najma before we got online and she said one thing and I said something else and she said something and then I went to ask her something and I said, oh shoot, I can't have that conversation with you. And I said to Robin, I said, I think I'm talking to you. When I'm talking to her, I can't talk to her about that stuff.
And I said, you talk to her about it long, she don't talk to me about it.
My point is, it's important that your children have other role models, mentors, and other people that they can go to. And for me, especially to all the single mothers out there and single dads, I don't want to leave you all out, but especially the single mothers, for me, it was very important because I don't believe in that stuff of being mom and dad because that's not what God created me to be or created us to be as women and mothers, and we cannot do it. I don't care who tells you that you can be both. I don't believe in that wishing me happy Father's Day, all that kind of stuff, because that's not my role. But what I did do was I made sure that Devin and Robert, had positive male mentors in their life. Now that's not to take anything away from their fathers, but again, it's certain things that your kids just won't come to you and talk about. So you've got to have those other people in place that you know have the same values that you have. I was just telling Devin a story yesterday about when I was in high school. I used to go, my neighbor across the street, she was about 5 or 6 years older than me. And my mother, you know, was friends with her mom. My parents were friends with her parents, and you know, we were friends, all of that. And we used to go to Jazzercise twice a week during the week.
Jazzercise.
Y'all remember Jazzercise? So get this though. Get this. We used to go to Jazzercise twice a week. Now remember I said she was older than me.
And where'd you go afterwards?
Oh yeah, after Jazzercise we would go get sundaes and ice cream and stuff. That's beside the point. But my point is, and why it's so important that you make sure the mentors and the people that your kids associate with have the same values that you do, because my mom loved her to death, but she was very naive. So my mom thought she was letting me go places with good people, but I was really getting into so much trouble that I shouldn't have been getting into. But so that's why it's important that people have that they have like values and things that you and your family have, so your kids feel comfortable going to those people. Devin has people right now, other musicians who are already in California, who've already done what he's about to do. Who maybe have gone different routes or whatever. Jaden the Cure is one of Devin's very good friends, but he, more than anything, he is a great mentor to Devin. Jaden's my other son, so I have to shout him.
Lily said, musicians are just free, period. We just don't care about what anybody say about us. And that's true, but imagine that.
Lily, that's true, but
it is,
a lot of musicians are very sensitive though as
and
well.
I was going to say, because a lot of times,
You trying to tell me something, I like, no,
Why you say that about me?
yeah, like I mean, I don't know, I'm sensitive.
but I think she just really
We
meant
don't care what normies think. Like,
right. That's what say.
Right.
We don't care what
Did she just call us
normies. We don't. No, seriously. We don't care what like normal people think, because we just think y'all look like not y'all.
We don't care.
We don't. Outside people, we don't.
Right.
We think y'all so boring. Like,
Well, but that's what I'm saying,
We
and
don't
I
care.
know that's what she's saying. In your world, yeah, you have your sensitivities, but I just think about people
So you
like,
mean like with other musicians and
Yeah.
stuff like that?
yeah,
I mean, some people don't care. I'm still. That's something about me. Like this
Right.
whole
Me
year, I'm
too.
just trying to
I
figure myself
actually
out.
care.
Yeah.
I'm not moved by it.
Because
But
people think I don't
Devin
care.
always talks
I do.
about and I think I know what you're talking about. He always talks about, like, when we watch award shows and different things like that, he always talks about how that crowd, well, if it's 100 musicians in the crowd, it's so much harder to perform in front of 100 musicians than it is to perform in front of 10,000 screaming fans,
sure.
because those are your
You think
peers.
it's easier to perform in front of a small crowd?
No,
No,
bigger
musicians.
Yo,
I take an arena over 100 people in a
Yeah.
room any day.
even if it's like
'Cause
two
if
people
I
that
trip,
you
but just
you
anything,
can
if
see
you-
the people looking at you.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? You can't see nobody.
If you trip or anything in an arena, it's kind of like, oh, you didn't notice it. But when it's 10 people in a room, it's like, oh, he tripped, and he fell, and he
you
missed
see everybody
this,
looking at
and he did this wrong.
Well, because they're looking at it differently. But I just think about people who are, and because we have, two musicians here who were created differently, right? Different? Whatever. Danita probably listening, she'll text me and tell me I'm wrong.
You know?
Danita,
Hi,
exactly,
Danita.
not
Verbs and nouns
I know,
this entire
different-
time.
strange people.
I swear he really does go to school, y'all.
But you all to think, because this can apply to anything. This applies to the entrepreneur that has these great, wild, crazy dreams, all kinds of things. But I think about people who are uniquely different in the way that you all were created because of the gifts you have for the world. For somebody to take someone like you all and put you in this box. And I'm telling you, I know I did it, because this girl did not want to go to Berkeley. She wanted to sing, but she wanted to go get a regular, go to a regular school, get a regular job, psychology or something, because she thought that was the right thing to do. That didn't come out of her heart or out of her spirit.
Right.
That came from a box that I put. It
Right.
came from a box that I put her in, whether I knew it or not. But look,
And
I
not
had
just you,
the world.
yeah.
But I had, the story about the elephant. They say you tie the elephant up. He's been tied up all his life, and he never could go past this little square.
Right.
They
Mhm.
took the noose off, took the chain off of him, and he still
still
never
did that.
left out of that square. I had taken the box off of her, and she would not leave off of this square.
Right.
She wouldn't go, and I had to push her into you know, where she was. But do you know how many people are like that?
Right.
You know, I used to always joke, and it's true, it's not really a joke. You close your eyes and 5 people, one of the people are dynamic singers. And you wonder why they have such a gift that was never nurtured. Because that takes, I'm gonna tell you, Pastor Cynthia Brazelton, she's never been my pastor, but a wonderful minister. She's the one who actually freed me about that. And one day she was talking, she was saying, we gotta allow our kids to be who they were created to be, and not who we want them to be. We can't live vicariously through our children. We can just raise up another generation of inauthentic people who got feelings, they don't know why they feel this way, they don't know why they're sad. Some people are just habitually depressed. You know why? Because they have no idea why they exist. They just go to work and to get money and, you know, to do that type of thing like that. And they never even explore what they were created to do. If you take such, you know, such creative people and box them into something traditional, that's a life most miserable.
Right.
And I've been a life most miserable person where I had just become who I thought everyone wanted to be. And I really do believe that Najma and I and Simone and I, we've always had a great relationship, but it's so much different and better now, in my opinion, because I kind of just, I don't want to see that happen to them. I would rather help clean up. She always say she stresses me out. What stresses me out is that utter depression you would be in if you weren't allowed to do what you want to do. I don't mind, you know, the struggles and because I make broke look good. You know,
okay, let me ask you this question. Let's free a few more parents. So, do people?
I was about to ask.
No, this is to you from a parent standpoint. So, do people criticize your parenting style, or do they say things about not to your face?
Now they do. When earlier on,
I think it's because everybody else's kids turned out. I mean, I ain't gonna lie. I mean, I do what I want to do, but I ain't turning out like retarded.
Earlier on, we
a lot of people parents used to be like mad strict, and like even me, like
I thought I was loose.
Yeah, no, I mean,
that's what I'm saying. Like the people not understand.
Like no, I'm just saying, like all my friends like used to sneak everywhere. I probably snuck somewhere like 3 times my whole life, and maybe that's not like a lot, but it's not like compared to most of my friends.
Yeah,
and it wasn't like super bad places. Like it was just I've gone somewhere without permission, or maybe not snuck, but I just didn't give all the details to where I was going. But
we know Naj. No, I'm just playing.
I mean, you probably know now, like you know. But I'm just saying, like a lot of people's parents, or maybe my friends who have like younger siblings, a lot of people's parents were like really strict and like didn't let their kids do this. And when they saw how that child turned out, they switched completely over with their second child. But then like, I don't want this to happen. Like, let me let them do what they want to do, because I mean, you could not let your kids do what they want to do. They're gonna do it anyway.
They're gonna do it anyway.
Right.
They used to criticize me mainly, and this has happened recently with Simone. But again, I don't want my children, my daughters, to have jacked up marriages either, and jacked up relationships where they don't understand how to have a husband or love their husband, where they all messed up in their mind about sex. I'm sorry, I can't talk about sex. You know, where they have unhealthy attitudes about sex. So I talk to my girls about everything. And I let my girls, well, she grown now, I let them have boyfriends. What? Yes, I was just happy they like boys.
Right.
And not girls.
Right.
So I was really excited. Especially Simone, she's a basketball player. So that was my biggest area of criticism.
Because note to you, they gonna have boyfriends anyway.
I slept my first like couple of boyfriends.
Oh, well, she thought she slept. But anyway. I'm not talking about those kind of boyfriends, guys. I'm talking about relationships. Right. And I allowed my daughters very young, I mean, I guess in you all's opinion, 13 or 12 with Simone, and I don't know what this child is, right? 14. And she had an older boyfriend, but we fostered those relationships. I've taught my daughters how to have relationships, and I taught them how to respond to boys, how to respond to men. I'm very open with them about my relationship with my husband. I don't sneak and hug and kiss and show affection with my husband. This is how relationships are. They probably know too much, but hey, it is what it is. But I got the most complaints about that. And then, but what happened when they, as Najma said, when they started seeing how her life was going versus what it could have been, it switched. So now we get more admiration for how I train my girls. I mean, even when it came to, you know, the time and the commitment that I put into them, and I couldn't do some of the things that I used to do in the church or different things like that. I'm committed to my children because I understand that after God, they are my top priority. And so, yeah, we catch it a little bit. Most people don't say it directly. I've had a few things that I've had to deal with, especially on that boy level, but my daughter.
I just say just mind your business.
Right. I say that. That's why I wanted you to talk about it because
it's tough.
No,
And it's
no
tough.
child.
You know, like I said,
Yeah.
I'm just now probably
Exactly.
about to embark on maybe some of the things that you all did because I did not have to be as extreme with some of my choices that I have to be with not Simone because of the type of her dreams. I'm a dream person. I believe in purpose. And
Right.
I don't care
Right.
really what anyone thinks. I do not want, they're not allowed to do anything outside of their goals and their dreams. That she can't even get a regular job because to me it's a trap. It's something to distract you from what you say you want to do. If what you can do only makes you $200 or $300 a week while you pursue your dreams, you learn how to live off of that. You make a way. You don't do something that's going to distract you from your goals and your dreams. People disagree about that. People disagreed about me only applying for one school. You know, different choices I made for Simone and things like that. Simone has the biggest heart for God than I think anybody else, and she's usually at basketball on Sundays. I know people who drag their kids to church every day on activity they have in church, and most of them got pregnant.
Right.
Most of them at church.
Right.
You know, so my thing is,
On a church trip.
on a trip, right? So my
Come on now.
right, my thing is, I stick to principle when it comes to my children. I look at the end. I always tell everybody, you know, I tell you, you go to the end of the thing first.
Right.
I'm always looking at the end and doing whatever I have to do to get you to the end. I'm not trying to shape you and mold you and make you anything. I try to push you toward whatever dream. I just told somebody that yesterday. I don't try to create or live vicariously through my kids.
Right.
You know, because I wouldn't choose y'all life. I'm gonna be honest with you.
I would.
It's no way if I was gonna choose a career. If my children have two careers, I would never choose.
Mhm.
First of all, I would never want to be famous. I just want to be rich, but I don't want to be famous.
Yeah, you definitely don't
And I
want
wouldn't want to be a musician, and I wouldn't want to be a musician because of everything that it entails. You gotta deal with the drinking and the drugs and making sure you stay focused and the people. It's crazy. I've been a part of that world. It's Simone with the athletes and basketball and the commitment. You know, you never can go out with your friends. You gotta practice. Those are not things that I would do. But if that's the way that God created you so that He can get whatever message you're supposed to give out to the world, you're supposed to make impact on the world. How are you going to make impact on the world living in somebody else's life?
Right.
Doing what somebody else told
Right.
you to do. Do whatever you want to do. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't matter how crazy it is. And some people think, oh, you're so good at this, you should be this, or you should be
Right.
that. Be whatever you
Right.
want to be. Try it. You know what I'm saying? Let your kids try it so that we won't raise up another generation of people who have no clue of what they are. You can't properly love somebody when you don't know who you are. You
Right.
can't do anything because you don't know who you are. Everything stems out of how you feel about yourself. So, I mean, the whole purpose of today was mainly because I was really amazed at how many people are amazed at my relationship with my daughter, which makes me think, what is going on?
What time do you have?
Exactly. And then, you know, just to, like I have another friend, I used to always tell her, every time your child does something wrong, you think their whole lives are about to be ruined. You know what I'm saying? They do one thing, you see them in the prison, jail, dropped out of school, pregnant. No, it's not that. You know, a lot of times it's just them trying to work out who they are. You know, work out who they are. So I really advise a lot of you to, I think it's a shame I didn't know Najma even could sing until she was,
I didn't know either.
yeah.
I
Maybe I really could.
didn't know till
Look,
6th grade.
Yeah, I don't think she
Oh,
was sing.
yeah.
It was like 7th or 8th, but I just didn't know. I never
We
explored
found
it.
out at his 6th grade graduation.
Yeah, it was
The
similar.
chorus teacher
It
had
was
him
sister.
sing
7th grade,
solo.
8th grade now.
And I was sitting there just crying. His uncle had it on video of his. I think we lost the video though. The first time he ever sang, and I was like, "Oh my God, he can sing!" So yeah, I mean, it would have been really easy to say, "Oh, okay, he can sing," and sweep it under the rug and just never bring it up again.
And that's what we do most of the time. And I thank God for, you know, I always say this about my life during that period of time. I think I'll never forget the last 4 or 5 years of my life. The last 4 or 5 years of my life were just horrible. I think it's horrible. I do. But the best things came out of that. You know what I mean? But just the absolute best things came out of that. You know, I wouldn't trade it for the world now that I really know, you know, who I am. I'm still just as driven. You know, some of the core things will always be there. You know, the core.
And it was a season.
Yeah.
It was,
Yeah.
and out of each season, you have to get whatever it is that you're supposed to get out of that season.
So I don't want you all to have to go through a season. You know, first figure out who you are. I mean, really take an evaluation. You know, I'm not telling anybody to go out and quit their jobs and stuff like that. You know, I don't believe in that kind of stuff. But I do. I'm like, I would work anywhere.
You did it though.
I quit my job.
She quit her job.
When I quit my
And just
job.
started a real estate company. It was like,
So did I.
Yes, but now I have to do that on another show.
Yeah, that's a whole
Yeah,
other
we're gonna,
show.
because I do not want anybody
Quitting
quitting their job. Yes, we'll have another show.
But this is the thing. It's a different economy now. It's a different season. It's different.
Everything's
now.
different. So
Exactly.
We'll talk about that next.
Right.
The next
I walked
episode.
away from corporate America too, but
Yeah.
it was, and that's part of when I talked about sacrifice. That was part of the sacrifice that I made, because one of my things, I was working so much that literally I felt like somebody else was raising my kids. And I did drastic stuff. I moved from one state to another because I wanted to get them out of a specific environment that they were in. I quit my job. I did drastic things, which if I had to do it over again, I would do it again because of the fruit that it yielded in my children. But it was a sacrifice.
And
it was a huge sacrifice.
I left my job very, very strategically.
oh, so
Right.
I didn't know that.
She didn't know that.
I just quit.
Yeah.
I left my job very, very, very strategically. So that was a little different. But I did leave it in pursuit of a dream. That's when it all started. That wasn't when my epiphany came as far as who I am. But
Don't y'all go to work tomorrow and talk about I quit
because I'm gonna tell you.
because I need to be able to raise my kids.
Yeah.
Now, if God ain't telling you to do that,
Yeah.
and if it is not, that's not what you're supposed to be doing.
Don't do it.
Right.
Yeah,
What is it? Use your job to fund your
use your job to fund your
I tell
vision.
people, I tell people all the time now, you stay on that job
Until
as long as you
do
can. I
whatever
have
it
a
is.
very good friend who has worked for a law firm for 20 plus years and had her own business right in Fort Washington for probably 15 of those 20 years, and she still has it. And she lives a great life, even with a full-time job, and runs a very successful business. So it can be
It can
done.
be done, but
Right.
I think that I would admonish you to.
Maria said she quit.
You quit. Girl, don't have people calling me. Look, but I just want you all to seriously. I mean, I don't care how old you are, how successful you are, because when this epiphany came, I'm still very successful. It doesn't matter. It amazes me how people think money and what you have makes you above anything. It doesn't. Most successful people have this problem. There are a lot of people find themselves very wealthy and successful doing something they hate. You know what I mean? So miserable.
Mhm.
Just because you're good at it or you're talented at it. But I just really admonish you all to just really take an assessment of what it is that you like. Go back to when you were younger, or if you didn't need any money. I mean, what kind of stuff do you really, really like? And then just get in touch with that. Just think about your life. I guarantee you, or some of you are doing things, not just talking about your job, I'm talking physically. People are wearing clothes they don't like because that's what people told them they're supposed to dress like.
Right.
People, won't cut their hair. I'm gonna tell you, when I see people come up busting up with these drastic things, I just think it is so awesome. I'm thinking, yeah, they bust out of that mold that somebody tried to put them in. Do whatever you want to. I'm always going, when I talk sometimes, I make it seem like I'm saying just, hey, don't care about anybody. I am assuming that we're all basically sane. I mean, to some degree. You know.
Okay.
To some degree. I'm also assuming that we have some basic relationship with God. Because whether or not I talk about Jesus or crack open the Bible, absolutely nothing I say will work if you don't have a relationship with God.
Exactly.
Like, you can be going all day long trying to be authentic. You can just be just as crazy as you want to be, because the foundation of who I am is because I know who I am in Christ. And my ability to love myself comes because of that. So those are two things I'm just going to always assume. So I may not always say it. If you don't have a relationship with God, I can help you with that too. But you need to have, I'm assuming that you're basically sane and, basically know God. Other than that, do what you want to do. You know, just start thinking about that. The more free you become, the more free your children are going to become, the better off your relationships are going to be. It's very difficult to be happy, truly happy. I mean, take this test. Go to a couple of your friends, even the guys, but I know y'all not real open a lot. Some guys are. But I guarantee you this with some chicks. Go out to dinner with like 3 or 4 women, even if you think they're real happy, and say, "Are you happy?" and watch what happens.
Now you gotta find real chicks to do that with.
Phony, fake ones. Just I don't care.
They gonna lie and
Yes,
say yeah.
Yes, they are. And sit at that table and talk about it.
Oh,
And
okay.
Oh, glad that ain't the one thing. I guarantee you. I thought she was like, show it over. But I guarantee you, if you take 4 or 5 women, I don't care what kind of people they are. They could just be phony, hype, whatever. And you ask 4 or 5 people, are they happy? 1 or 2 of them are going to tell the truth in the beginning. And at the end of that conversation, they're all going to fess up.
Right.
You're going to hopefully have 1 or 2 that are happy, who have gotten to a place. Because if somebody was to ask me, was I happy? I can honestly say yes. Even with all the drama, you know, they're going to cut your electric off, phone off, water off, don't matter. I'm still happy. I have come to a place where those things don't control how I feel. Just because I don't like that it's happening, just because it's hard and I'm struggling, I go to God and be like, what is up with that? I'm still happy. I'm a happy person. I'm happy with the choices that I made. I'm happy. I would be happy if everything I had was taken away from me. It wouldn't rock that. It wouldn't change that. And there was a time I really couldn't say that. I was like 2 seconds off of being the most depressed person in the world, even though I would walk out this door and people would think everything was wonderful. So I mastered having a mask.
Right.
You know, I've mastered that. But now I'm at a place where if I was one of the women at the table and you asked were they happy, I would tell you I can honestly say that I'm very happy. And I want, you know, my thing was today to get people to at least look at that and make sure that you are actually living a life that you want and not a life that somebody created. And then to raise up your children that way so that they won't have to repeat the same. I mean, at some point we got to change this thing.
Right.
You know, at some point we got to change this thing. So I'm glad y'all was on with sing a song or something. Oh, y'all should have did like a duet. Remember when, did your mom used to do this? I would say, Nasha, do a show for us.
I always sing a song.
Sing a song now.
But I do that if some of my girlfriends that sing I watch and they like, she does that to everybody. I did that to you. I think singers are like jukeboxes. If I put a quarter in you, you should immediately burst out in your best song ever. Because if I could sing, I think I'm a great singer. But I say that just for me.
Well,
no, girl, I can't sing a lick.
Well, Nasha said that our birthday party is now open to the world.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that's what she told me.
Well, make sure y'all at least give your websites and
okay,
Facebook or something.
Najma's,
I shut down.
Najma's Facebook fan page is Najma Jahan.
I don't use
Spell
that.
that.
I do.
My
I
YouTube
understand.
is Najma Jahan Music.
So-
So my website is najmajahan.biz. But
She really gives you all to understand her.
Spell.
But it's Najma, that's Najma Jahan, Jahaan. Najma Jahan means star, precious star of the world. That's why her name is Star.
Oh.
So people just think she called herself a star. That's so cute. Yes, so Jahan means, Najma means star. And Jahan means of the world. So it's Najma Jahan Music. That's her YouTube channel. And then Devin.
My website is, well, everything is Devin Cole, DevinKowl, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, my website, everything. It's just devincole.com.
And I'll put it on the on my Facebook page. And then of course I'm at robinspeaks.com.
And my Facebook is Alicia Gaskins Barmore. And from that, you can get to my business, which is event planning for corporate, nonprofit, social, which is Favor Events, FAVOUR Events.
And we had 366 people watching, so I'm excited. All right, so
watching.
I don't know when we're coming back on. I guess I need to come up with a schedule.
Maybe in 2 weeks.
Okay, 2 weeks. Maybe. So I'm gonna come up with a schedule. So, just, keep looking at my page. I appreciate you guys all. I hope you got something out of it. Everything I do is always pretty much going to be like this. Kind of informal, because that's just how I am. And I'm not really for a whole lot of maybe Devin can give me a nice stage or something. Things all late with the stage. It's their fault that we were late. And
Who's?
Devin.
First off, we filming at Robin's home, and the woman wasn't here to open the door.
This is my studio. This is my studio. I was about to say something else. Oh, my birthday party. So if you're in the DMV, we don't even used to say that, but everybody else say DMV.
Do you want to come to your birthday party?
Najma will be performing live.
It's not my birthday.
Oh, I want to
With-
sing.
I was
Oh,
gonna say, but it's sure.
I said our birthday party.
Oh.
No, you said your birthday party.
Okay, so did you
Their
all know?
birthdays are on the same day.
Yes, our birthday is April 4th, and we're
Oh.
having a birthday party on April 6th.
Wait, are you an Aries?
And Najma's gonna be performing
Okay.
with.
I'm March 20th, I'm Aries.
What's the name of what's Lorenzo's band? It's an awesome jazz band that's gonna be performing with her, Lorenzo Toppin, and I just do not know the name of his band, but I'm gonna post that as well. So it's gonna be awesome entertainment. It's gonna be at Old Town Inn in Upper Marlboro, Maryland, from 9 to 1. All right, but that's gonna be on my page, so it's now open. As long as, I may have a thing where you have to kind of sign up so your name can be on the list, because it can only hold but a certain amount of people. So I'll have it set up on the page, and you guys can come and hear Najma perform, and maybe we throw Devin in if we let him come, because he'll be 18 and
He'll
so.
be
we
in
might-
Los Angeles.
Oh, he'll be in
Yeah, I'll be in
Well, he'll jet set back from
Maybe he
LA.
can Skype in to say happy birthday.
Oh, that would be nice. So, okay, guys, thanks so much for tuning in. I hope you all enjoyed it. I'm sorry about the sound. I have no way. We'll figure it out. I'll listen to the replay and see at what point it got better, so we can do better for next. Bring in microphones. All right, guys, enjoy your Sunday, okay?
Have a good evening. Bye.